Okay, welcome back to the Car Dealer Live stage. With me is Lucy McHenry from Twitter. At Car Dealer Magazine, we're massive fans of Twitter and we use it extensively, so I'm really looking forward to chatting to you. The first thing I was going to ask is, can you tell me what the biggest myth is about Twitter? I mean, lots of people have got misconceptions about what it is. Maybe you can explain.
Hello? Perfect. So I think there's two areas really. The first is that people, when they think of Twitter, they think of 140 characters. And a platform is actually so much more than just 140 characters. So I'll first of all talk about that. And I think a second part is reach and the fact that we may have potential limited reach. So I want to talk about that as well. But I'll talk about 140 characters first and what more you can be doing on the platform. So we have an enormous opportunity to go beyond 140 characters. And a lot of you guys are doing this already, but being able to use additional media in your tweets outside of just text. So whether that's imagery, whether that's video content, GIFs, it could be a Twitter polling feature. There's lots of opportunity there. And I guess key for us in the past 12 months, that creative canvas on Twitter has changed beyond recognition. So we've had some major launches in the last 12 months that has really moved us into a different sphere. So one of those areas is Periscope. So we acquired Periscope back in March last year, and it was Apple's App of the Year in 2015. So for those of you who haven't had the opportunity to download and have a play around with it yet, I definitely recommend that you do so. But ultimately, Periscope is a live broadcast app, so you're able to live broadcast content, and we integrated that into the Twitter feed. So I've seen James periscoping a lot of the content from today, and it really does give the Twitter user the opportunity to connect in real time. And for us, that the real time kind of live and connection to culture is something that's been in Twitter's DNA from day one. So it's a fantastic opportunity for you to give insight into, it could be a car unveiling, it could be features of your car, whatever that might be, but the user gets the opportunity to connect in real time. Some other areas of the site that we've developed and launched in the last 12 months is Moments. So you may have seen, or for those of you who have Twitter in your hand right now, you can identify moments through the lightning bolt tab in your Twitter app. And what that is an area for users to discover content. So one of the challenges we've had in the past is, whilst Twitter's full of great information, some of our users find it difficult to find the right content at the right time. So we now have a team of curators who actually sit in our office, so it's not algorithm based, it's based on a team of human beings pulling content together and showcasing and giving the user insight and stories as and when they happen. And we categorize that across everything from news, sports, politics, to entertainment, or things happening in the world right now. So that's another opportunity in another area of our site beyond 140 characters, where you have an opportunity to express and be involved on the platform. We also acquired a company and launched at the back end of last year a platform called Niche, which is a platform which ultimately connects brands and advertisers to creators. So content creation is a really, really kind of big part of what we're seeing become more and more important to lots of different people. And we now have the ability to connect you as a brand or an advertiser to a team of creators who are able to create content for you. And the beauty about Niche is it's platform agnostic. So the content that you create through Niche isn't just you are not able to just use it on Twitter, but you can use it on other platforms, whether that be Snapchat or Facebook, and so on. So you have lots more opportunity there to do that as well. So again, going beyond that 140 characters and being able to use content in that way. Another area is emojis. So that's been a growing trend, and more people are using emojis in their tweets. And the actual most tweeted word of 2015 wasn't actually a word, it was an emoji. So it was the crying with laughter face. So that was the most tweeted word of 2015. So we're seeing more and more people express themselves through emojis. We have an opportunity now for brands to customize emojis if they want to. And so again, it's just another way outside of that traditional 140 characters that people can express themselves. And I guess the final area, and one of the key areas for us, is the growth of video. And so, I know a lot of you guys in this room are doing a really great job of using video content for your Twitter accounts, but video on Twitter is growing at such a rate, 220x in the past 12 months. It really is at the forefront of everything we're doing, and a lot of the products that we're innovating and rolling out all have video at the heart. And so, it's a really, really kind of key opportunity for you guys to convey a message. We know that users are interacting with video content. We're seeing higher engagement rates, and it really is a format that we're seeing a lot more people using. So again, being able to tell a message in a much deeper way beyond 140 characters in text.
So we use Twitter a lot, and we engage with a lot of dealers on Twitter, and there's a lot of guys out there doing some really good stuff.
Yep.
How do you think dealers can improve on what they do on Twitter, and is there anything they can do to use the platform to sell cars?
Absolutely. So I just gave a talk actually, and I'm more than happy to share with you guys some research we did last year with Nielsen. But we asked Twitter users, in an auto audience, what exactly are you looking for? What is it that you want from Twitter when thinking about buying a car? And they told us lots of different things. So they want to know about features, they want to know about deals, they want to know about upgrades, they want their questions answered. So I think it's taking those insights and taking that research that we have that we can share with you, and making sure you're doing that with your account. So, one of the key things is that users expect brands and accounts to reply and engage in a conversation. And again, that real-time, live, conversational nature of Twitter, which has been with us from the beginning, is really what we're expecting a company and brands to be able to do and engage with customers. So engage in that two-way conversation, make sure you're having conversation, make sure you're answering their questions, and any insight, any upcoming news, deals, opportunities, information you can share, the better. Remember on Twitter, the people who have come to follow your account have done that because they've chosen to do so. There isn't a reciprocal follow, so they can follow you regardless if you're following them or not, but they actively want to hear from you. They've come to our platform, they've signed up to say, yes, I want to hear from you as a car dealer, and they expect to hear back from you as well. So taking that into consideration. I also think, I guess, a key couple of areas for car dealers especially is about traffic driving and generating leads from the platform. So we understand that. We understand there are two key areas for you. And through the creative capability of a tweet, we have two really easy ways for you guys to do that. So through website traffic driving, we have what we call a website card. And when we talk about cards, it just means what you can do in a tweet. It's a tweet capability. So we have a format that you can pre-populate with an image, with a link to your website. You can customize the call to action. So visit our website now, for example, and you can drive traffic to your website, which have proven to be much more successful than just simply having 140 characters and a link to your website. So that's definitely one opportunity you should be taking advantage of. And on the lead generation side, again, we have what we call a lead generation card. And what that allows you to do is capture Twitter's users' information. So it's first-party data. And the way that works is, again, you pre-populate a tweet format with an image of your company or your account. You also ask them to submit their details. And we pre-populate the Twitter user's name, account handle, and their email address for you. So you're pre-populating the information. So from a user perspective, it's a really, really easy way to submit my details. I don't actually have to do any manual input. But for you, on the other side, you're getting that information directly from either us through the dashboard, or you can link that directly to your CRM database. So if you have a database with kind of new leads, pulled through, you can add that directly in just through some simple coding. So again, we can help you with both of those different options, but I certainly think from this audience, driving traffic, lead generation are two key opportunities that you can take advantage of, absolutely, as well as leveraging leveraging the research that we have about our audience and what they're expecting from Twitter, and to make sure that your tweets are informative and engaging, and building a relationship and a conversation with that particular audience.
So what would your advice be for producing the perfect tweet?
I think one of the things we talk about is, and we've talked about this from day one, is the right message to the right audience at the right time. So what Twitter isn't is a one-stop-fits-all. So we have various different audiences at different stages of the potential purchase funnel, and it's really about listening and identifying the correct audience for you. So what do you know about your customer base? Do you have information? We have tools and capabilities for you to target existing customers. We can help you target potential leads for a series of keywords or search behavior on the platform. And it's making sure you're identifying what's the right message for a potential lead versus the right message for an existing customer. So it's being able to establish and identify the differences between those two. And then the right message, so the right time. Again, it's when are these people tweeting? When are they asking for advice? We know that there's this always-on conversation about auto, at any point. There'll be peaks and troughs, of course. It could be around new releases, new models or events, but there's this constant communication of people expressing intent, purchase intent, what they want to do, what they are doing, what their friends told them about a certain experience. So it's being able to use all the different tools available, and making sure you've got that right audience. And same with the right time. Twitter is a real-time platform. It happens, when it happens in the real world, it happens on Twitter. So being able to keep on top of, mentions, notifications, when people are, asking for your help, they're wanting to know more information, and it's making sure that you're responding in the right time and in the right way.
Some dealers think that investing a huge amount of time into Twitter is not time well spent, and other dealers are investing in social media people purely to run their Twitter accounts. Yeah. What does return on investment look like from Twitter, and how do you think dealers can guarantee that?
So we don't, of course, offer guarantees as such, but what you do have when you're working with us, you have full access and full visibility into the work that you're doing. So if you're investing in the platform to drive leads or drive website traffic, you have complete control and visibility over what you're doing. So you're able to, with our help and recommendation as well, I should add, is we can make recommendations and say this part of your campaign is performing way better than another part. You should think about moving budget or investing into a different area. These are the trends we're seeing. These are the patterns we're seeing. This is what the research tells us. So we can provide and help all that particular insight, and help you drive, towards your CPA goals or your targets as much as possible. And of course, when you're, certainly from a paid perspective, when you're running paid media with us, you're buying on a cost per X model. So whatever your campaign setup, it's all done. So if it's purely about driving video views, then we can help you drive video views, and you're only paying for when someone views your ad. If you're paying for website traffic, then you're only paying when someone clicks onto your website. So there's lots of different tools and lots of different ways to help you achieve your goals. But it's obviously we need to understand what your goals are, and then we can help work towards those with you in the best way, and helping and providing that support and providing the information that we know is working, and giving you that guidance and helping you through it at any one point.
So who do you think should be running the Twitter account in a car dealership? Should it be the boss, or should it be handed down to somebody else?
I think it really does depend. And again, every single company have a different setup. And so some would manage it themselves, some would have a third party. I think what's key, in which way you're doing it, is making sure you know the goals of the account. So it's making sure, first of all, that you have an easily identifiable brand or a message that you're trying to communicate. So really, really simple things, from having clear profile pictures, making sure you've got an up-to-date bio description. You can put a link to your website in your bio description. if you're offering any type of customer service, making sure you're clear on kind of times and dates and how that's working. So I actually don't think it necessarily matters who exactly is managing, but just making sure that you're all aligned and on the same page of what it is that you're trying to do and what you're trying to get across, how frequent you want tweets to go out, what is that message, what is it that you're actually tweeting about, what's your, your daily plan, your weekly, your monthly, your quarterly plan for the platform, and making sure that you're aligned, and then there's no room for mishap.
So do you think dealers can use Twitter to target in-market car buyers to sell more cars?
Absolutely. So as I touched on before, there's lots of different ways of doing that. So you can monitor and listen to conversation that's being had on the platform. So people talking specifically about particular models, particular brands. It could be people actually mentioning your car dealership. So making sure you guys have got the tools in place to make sure you're listening and understanding what people are doing around your brands and your car dealerships on the platform. We can also help you through targeting options such as keywords. We can geo-target. So again, if you only want to target people within a certain postcode of your dealership who are also talking about cars and specific models or your dealership, we can help you do that. So we have lots and lots of granularity that we can offer and help you. And of course, the more bespoke and the more pinpointed you become, of course, the volume of inventory becomes smaller, but the potential customer and the potential audience there becomes kind of greater and stronger. So yes, we definitely can help with that. And there's lots and lots of different opportunities on the platform to help with that.
And what's the best way for a car dealership to grow their Twitter following?
So that can be done in a couple of ways, I guess. So from an organic point of view, content is key. So as I said, people are choosing to come and follow your dealership on the platform. So if I'm choosing to follow you, yet I don't really hear from you, I don't see much content, it could be a bit boring. It might end up the fact that I might unfollow you and I'm just not interested. So it's making sure you've got a base of followers who have chosen to come and hear from you, and making sure your content's engaging, understanding. If I'm speaking to you directly, then speak to me. And making sure you've got a plan in place and a schedule in place of content that you can put out that users will find engaging, and that might be through video. It could be asking a poll and asking questions about what people are excited about coming up, whatever it may be. The second opportunity is from a paid perspective, so you can actually target and choose to pay for followers. So if you want to, so again, you only pay on a cost per model, so you would pay when somebody actually goes on to follow your account. But the way you would do that, again, work with us, work with our dashboard to set your campaign up, and you can target a very specific group of users. So again, you can target a certain demographic, you can target people who we know in the past 30 days have talked about car brands or dealerships or looking to buy a new model or new car, and you can target them, and then they will be served what we call a promoted account. So they'll see an ad from you in your car dealership saying, would you like to follow? And then when somebody clicks on and goes on to follow you, that's when you're charged. If somebody purely sees that ad and is still not interested and they don't want to follow you, then you're not going to be charged for that. So that choice is entirely up to you. But from an organic point of view, in the first instance, it's making sure you guys have got the content which is engaging enough for somebody to want to continue to follow you, and making sure they come back and hear from you on a daily basis.
And finally, what's next for Twitter?
Good question. So, the platform, we continue to innovate. We continue to test and learn. As I've mentioned already, video is key for us. The investments we're making, the acquisitions we're making are all in that video area. And we're going to see more and more come from that. I think Periscope, the live broadcast, the live connection to culture, how we feel that fits with our platform is key. And I think we're going to see continued investment in that area. So, we're really excited. There's lots coming. which I can't obviously share with you right now, but we do continue to test the platform, innovate, making sure we're always putting our consumer first. Everything we do, we have the customer at heart at first, in the first instance, and then we'll think about the kind of monetization after that. So I think you'll see a lot more over the next 12 months.
Lucy McHenry from Twitter, thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, next up on the live stage, we have Facebook, which has been coming in 10 minutes. So if you want to stay where you are, you will keep your seats. Thank you very much.
Thank you.